Yes guys, welcome back to another Come Drive with me, and welcome back to another Keys Clutch Wheels episode. So today we're going to be discussing Manchester City. Yes, welcome back to the channel for everyone. If you're new, if you don't know what this series is, I started one on Arsenal last time out. As I said before, credit goes to James Lawrence Olcott on his podcast for this series. I forgot what his original trio was. Originally he broke down a bike saying like the gears, the wheels and something else. I can't remember what the third one was, why I changed it to make it more relevant for me in a car. So basically break down a team as if they were a car. You know, who's the clutch, who's the keys, who's the wheels. And then we throw a couple of little nuances in there, you know, the spare tyre, the leather seats, whatever it is, the engine. Like we'll mix it around each week. So this today, I'm going to do Manchester City. Now, it's quite interesting to do Manchester City this season because of how it's gone for them. In the past, certain players have been different components of the car, but I think the components have changed over the years. I think at one point Kyle Walker could have been the wheels for the Manchester City because they were so reliant on his pace at the back, and whenever there was a counter attack against him, he was always there to sweep up, and it meant that they could push all those men forward. So I think Walker definitely at one point was the wheels. You could have said Rodri's in Ruben Dias's first season, he was the wheels for sure. And then we'll get into it. So we're going to start with the clutch. Now, the way I define the clutch is he's the player who gets the team moving through the gears. So when he's on form, the team basically win. That's just how it is. So I've given the clutch to Kevin De Bruyne, and I just think we're seeing the end of Kevin De Bruyne this season, and it's no coincidence it's coincided with Manchester City dropping off. So I remember the game that sticks in my mind really, really like clearly was the Man City Tottenham game, I think, when they got battered 4-0 at home. But Kevin De Bruyne came on when it was maybe 3-0, I think, and geez, guys, still wicked up here. And yeah, he came on, and within like 2 minutes, he already created an opportunity. I think he must have created 3 or 4 chances within about 10 minutes coming on. And that's what he is. He's literally a chance creation monster. He does it. He just feeds players. That's all it is. And I think then him dropping out of the team a lot this season because of age or injury or whatever, and being phased out is one of the reasons behind Manchester City's fall off. I think if you had a Kevin De Bruyne of last year or 2 years ago especially, but last year when he came back he was outrageous for Man City. So even if you had that Kevin De Bruyne, I think even with Rodri out they'd still be up there. I think he's just that good. I think he's a Premier League all-time great player, and it's quite unfortunate that he might have just played one season too many, because he's starting to get his people coming on, getting onto him now about he's not quite cut out for the league anymore, and it's harsh criticism because you're comparing him to when he was in his peak as arguably the best midfielder in Premier League history. So yeah, I give De Bruyne is still the clutch because when he's playing well, the team still wins. Even now, even at his age, he still drags them to wins with his quality. So yeah, I definitely go with De Bruyne as the clutch. Sorry guys, I'm just working out what this car's doing in front. I think he's a bit lost. Anyway, yeah, De Bruyne's the clutch. Now it'll be interesting to see who takes over that mantle next season. So obviously I think Phil Foden's the one that's being groomed for it, but I don't know what's going on with him. He's completely fallen off a cliff this season. He's gone from being player of the year to arguably biggest flop of the season compared to last year. Like, I don't think that's not that outrageous a statement to make. I think he's been miles off it, and he needs to have a summer off maybe and just rest and recover. He played a lot of football last season, to be fair to him, so it wouldn't surprise if he does come back next season and he's on it. But Foden, I don't know, he feels like what it's been so far is when Man City are doing well, Foden plays well, but I don't see Foden play well when Man City aren't playing well. That's the thing. I think that's a key thing. Like, you could argue it's similar with Haaland, but Haaland's a striker, so it's very different for me with Haaland, because Haaland cannot do anything, score a goal and have a good game basically. Foden is meant to be, well, he's meant to basically be the heartbeat of this team now. You know, he's meant to have taken this team on his back almost by now, like how Bukayo Saka's done at Arsenal. Saka was younger, I might add, only just, but that's my kind of point. Foden hasn't really taken this team on his back and dragged them yet. I know he last season? I think it might have been last season. No, season before. I think. No, it was last season, where Foden scored an absolute screamer at the Bernabeu, basically. But Man City were playing well that season. You know, he had confidence. He was exuding that confidence he has. Now I just don't see the same Phil Foden, and when I said I've seen De Bruyne come on and churn out performances, even when Man City are getting thumped by Tottenham, I haven't seen that from Foden this season at all once. I can't remember a game where I've gone, oh, Foden's unlucky to be on the losing team here. He's going missing from games. So yeah, I think Guardiola might be considering who's heir to Kevin De Bruyne is now. I think once upon a time it was meant to be Foden, but whether it still is remains to be seen. Well, I guess we'll find out in the summer with who they buy and everything. And then we move on to who are the wheels of this Manchester City team, and I think it's pretty obvious now. It's Rodri. It's for the same reasoning that Saliba was the wheels for me in my Arsenal one. When you take him out the side, the wheels fall off, literally. Like, I think there's never been a bigger drop off from a team with one player missing, and that's saying something. When Arsenal lost the league title for that, but City lost the league title in November because Rodri was out injured. Like, that's massive. So I think there's no debating about Rodri being the wheels. Like I said, once upon a time you could have argued maybe Kyle Walker was there, Ruben Diaz, but I think Bernardo Silva could have been the wheels at one point as well. But now I do think it's Rodri, and it's only Rodri. So then finally we got the keys. Now this is a position I really struggled with in this team, because they're all such good quality players. It can be hard to actually identify who the keys are. I figured maybe Gundogan might be in the keys once upon a time. Again, you could say Foden's meant to be that, but he's not quite. Haaland, I wouldn't say he's the keys. So I've actually gone for my keys as being Bernardo Silva. I just think he's such a quality player, and he is the one that gets them going a lot of the time. You know, his pressing and his overall ability is just so top level. And I do think he gets forgotten about sometimes. The reason I think he gets forgotten about is that when he leaves the league, I don't think he's going to get remembered as a top Premier League midfielder, even though he arguably should be in that breadth. You know, I do think he's of that nature to be in that top level bracket. I rate him so highly. I have done for years, since he was like down the right wing. His technical ability is just levels above others. Excuse me. Yes, I'm giving Bernardo Silva my keys to Man City. I don't think there can be too much debate over that now. Whether he maintains the keys for next season, I think it's interesting as well, because he's rumoured to potentially be leaving. I don't think Pep will let him go still. I think Pep absolutely loves him. I think that shows you the quality of the player, that Pep loves him. I think Pep will keep him on, and you'll see him play reduced minutes next season, but still get maybe 20-25 appearances out of him. Because he can't get rid of all the aging players. Bernardo Silva's played a lot of football this season, so it shows how much Pep actually wants him and needs him. So I definitely think you'll be seeing more of Bernardo Silva next season. Maybe they'll bring in another midfielder like Florian Wirtz to try and match up with him, or try and potentially phase him out and bring in another one. But I think Gundogan and Bernardo Silva are going to stay. I think Gundogan's already been reported. He's going to stay for another season. But yeah, I think that's my keys is Bernardo Silva. People are going to be like, well, where's Haaland? How have you not got Haaland as like the keys to clutch of the wheels? I don't think he is them. I don't think, like I said, with Haaland, when he's playing well, Man City might not win still. And when Man City are bad and he scores, like, it doesn't make, you know what I mean? It doesn't make all that much difference. He's obviously a world-class striker, but he's not the one that's keeping him going in terms of being the wheels. He's not the key to the Man City, because they were already doing it before he was there. And I don't think that's changed. I think if you took him out of the team, I think they'd still be able to perform with some of the players they've got. And I don't think he's the clutch. I just don't think he's the clutch. I think De Bruyne is more that player of when he gets some play into these levels above when he's on the pitch. I think Haaland, for me, I identify him as the engine. So the way I thought about it was, all right, Man City already had the best car, and they were already winning all the championships. Let's say it's like Formula One, and they go, all right, how can we switch it up? So what they do, they take out their engine, they're going to get the best engine out there, and all of a sudden, so they just change it and they pop a new one in. All of a sudden, this engine makes them the most efficient car, and they fly away from everyone. That's basically a very simple anecdote I've done for Haaland. I think he took this great Man City side, and he just made them so much more efficient. That's what it was. All of a sudden, they were mixing it up, and they were able to just go into him in behind, play it over, and boom, goal, 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 goal. That first season. So yeah, I go with Haaland's my engine. Like I said, it's going to be interesting next season to see what happens with Man City in terms of their transfer strategy, who they're going to sign, if they would sign anyone. You know, they could be playing on a negative 100 points next season and get relegated. We don't know. And it could impact their transfer strategy. Some players could leave. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. If they do end up getting that 100-point deduction, Haaland will be playing the Championship in 2 years' time. So I look forward to that. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, like the spare tyre. I thought about it, and I thought maybe Julian Alvarez was that guy who was that spare tyre, you know, the utility, does the job basically across that whole front three when he needed to. I think once upon a time Bernardo Silva was that spare tyre. Like, he would literally go everywhere. He'd play right wing, right 8, left 8, 6, left back. Like, he was definitely the spare tyre at one point. When he had a bit more energy in his legs. I don't know. I think that's something they missed as well. That spare, like Zinchenko was definitely a spare tyre at one point for them as well. And they just don't have that now. Like, I'm trying to think of their spare tyre. Maybe Rico Lewis plays right back, plays left back, plays 6 sometimes. But they haven't really got the utility guy up front who can play. Marmoush could probably play anywhere across that front three if they wanted to. But they haven't tried it, so I can't put him in there as a spare tyre. So I don't think there is one there. I think that's one of the issues they have. They don't have that alternative option. You know, they don't have the Julian Alvarez. Marmoush could be that guy, but we'll see. If Haaland picks up an injury and Marmoush goes into 9, and all of a sudden he's blossoming there, which he definitely could. I rate Marmoush so highly. I think I wanted Arsenal to go and tout him for our left wing. I know he's not a winger. He's been playing 9 for Frankfurt, but I think the profile of the player, he can play left wing in the Prem. Almost like a Salah mould, in terms of he might not stay out on the left wing, and he'll cut in and float in and play as like just off the striker, and just cause a bit of chaos. So I think that's what he's doing well at City right now. Yeah, I think that's the main parts that I wanted to go through with Man City. If you guys have any other components of the car you want me to discuss for teams, or you don't agree with my analogies, let me know what you think down below in the comments, please. I'll take any criticism on board, or just give me your thoughts. There's no right or wrong answer really with this. I think it was just a bit of fun to try and do. Let me know if you fancy. Let me know who you want me to do next in the comments. Peace. Bye.